Hello, friendly internet. What is going on? It's your boy Josh with Bonus Stage, and here to my right is Dominique Arsenal of Multi-Memory Controller. And if you are here tonight, you are here because we are having a listening party for his upcoming release. Dominique, how are you doing tonight?
Fantastic. Pretty excited.
That's awesome. Me too. I'm really excited. And I think, in fact, that you've been so excited that you have absconded to a cottage in the woods for your album release this weekend.
Yeah, this is a coincidence of sorts. It wasn't planned that way, but I mean, COVID changes lots of plans, and we have to make do with the best. So I'm actually not at home right now. I don't have access to my ultra good gear, which is not that much more reliable than what I have right now, but it would be a bit easier. But I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much, Josh, for hosting this.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. Also, hello everyone in the chat and bonjour mon ami. Yeah, I know we've got lots of people joining us from the East Coast and from Quebec. I want to give some shout outs to Rob, who rated us with a bunch of his viewers. Thanks for bringing your viewers over. And oh, what's up? We've got Erik from Viking Guitar there too. Oh, and Grant from Stemage. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm glad that you are all here. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and yeah. So, Dominique, why don't you tell us a little bit about the album that we're going to be showcasing tonight?
Well, it's the end of a long process of around 12 years that I've been experimenting and trying to find the right tools to do the kind of hybrid between metal music and chiptunes that I wanted.
Oh no, we dropped your audio for a little bit there, bud. And your camera's frozen a little too. Oh gosh.
Oh,
That's the kind of the give and take. You're in a luxurious cottage, but you're also just totally away from a reliable signal. But we'll take what we can get. Sorry, you were talking about the happy marriage between metal and chiptunes, I think, before we lost you.
yeah, so it's the end of a long process of trying things out, but it's also the start of something new. There will be more albums coming out. So hopefully there is an appetite for that. Hopefully it works.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just from what I've been able to hear, what you've sent me over the past couple of weeks, yeah, I think I'm definitely developing an appetite for more. It's really delicious, like a sweet piece of nut bread. Um, but I mean, obviously, like you spend a lot of time on this album. You've also been doing lots of research as well, because you yourself are a professor. Do you want to tell us a little bit about some of that sweet, sweet research you've been doing on metal and games?
Yeah, so I'm a university professor and I've done my PhD on video games, video game theory. And so I branched out and started exploring a question that was very personal to me, which is that there are way too many gamers that are fans of metal music and vice versa, for it to just be explained by demographics. So I wrote a couple papers and explored the topics and how there are so many links historically, culturally, aesthetically between video games in general and, of course, the music of video games and metal. So did you get all that?
Yes, yes, you came through loud and clear for your wonderful thesis. And I think I can speak to that
Okay,
too.
great.
Like, as a performer, I think some of the most energetic crowds that we've had at the Runaway Four have been metal crowds because they're there to give you that energy, and they're there for the love of music and the instrumental. And I think you're absolutely right. There are so many parallels between the virtuosity of metal, and the virtuosity of video game music as well. So it's nice to see that you're kind of bringing those all together yourself.
Yeah, so this is basically an act of creation to render some of the links that I've hypothesized in, the kind of aesthetics that work. This one album has 9 tracks. They are based on video games from the 8-bit and 16-bit era, and we'll get the chance to hear all of it today.
We're not gonna scrimp on any of that. No, we've got to make sure we get the full deal. Um, But nevertheless, like the album, it's not actually going to be out tonight. It's coming out on the Saturday, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Saturday, the 10th, 2020. That's
Awesome.
when it's coming out, so you get exclusive preview.
Yeah, absolutely. You only heard it here first. Only. Sorry, I'm babbling. Yeah. What? So, like, I mean, there's a lot of different approaches that people take to chiptunes, I think, and so maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the tools that you used for your process.
Yeah, so there's the question of authenticity. Like, are you making accurate music like you could do on a Famicom, on an NES, or something like that? This is not my approach. So multi-memory controllers were chips that were integrated into NES cartridges that would expand the technical capabilities of the system beyond what it could do initially. So this is basically my approach. It's to take the music, the storylines, I would say the emotions and the themes that were in 8-bit and 16-bit video games and rendering them up to, I would say, a next level vision or something like that. Like, make abstraction of the technical constraints, don't be limited by that, and go beyond that and do something that transpires the same kind of energy with all the modern tools that we can get for that.
Yeah, no holds barred. You're not holding anything back, and that is very much in the metal spirit. Yeah. Did you want to talk a little bit about the epic artwork that you've got here for the album?
Oh, I wish I could talk so much about it because basically I was setting out with ideas and so I put together a little sketch that was very bad looking, but the important thing was to approach a person whose artwork I was admiring and I had admired for, it's actually years. It's not just months, it's years. So I contacted Nate Horsfall and I asked him if he was available and interested in doing the artwork for the album because I had seen his amazing work before that. So he said yes, and so we got in contact and we exchanged a lot about that.
Awesome, and I think we're all lined up to exchange even more about that because we've got Nate here in video chat. Why don't you say hi, Nate?
Hello, I'm here. I think that worked.
You're live, yeah, bud. We got you.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, when it was pitched to me, and there's a document that Dominic created that we want to re-dig up, but basically it was just like stupid, insane metal stuff, and it kind of ticked all the boxes of ridiculous things that I've made over the years, and so it was just like, all right, yeah, that sounds about up my alley. I can do this. The hardest part was really creating artwork during this global pandemic. It was really like, if it was a normal year, I would have knocked this out in probably like 2 weeks. But instead it took 6 months. I don't know. Also, my cat is relentless.
The basic concept of the artwork was to take the chips and just power them up with the metal spirit. And so I had some ideas, but Nate really took it next level.
Yeah, I mean, his initial designs were very easy to go off of, and when we dig those back, we'll dig those up later, and they're really, you'll see, it's like, oh, yep, that makes sense. I can work with very rough ideas, I can work with very refined ideas, I can work with no ideas, but having an idea to kind of go off of just makes the process so much easier.
What Nate is trying to say is that he can work off of any ideas, and you should hire him.
Yeah. I mean, like, you talk to like Rosie of the Dairy String Quartet, who will make these like really rough pencil sketches, and then I'll take that and be like, okay, there's your finished logo, and it's like, but it was her idea, and so him with his idea of this character standing on this chipboard and things like that, it's like, oh, all right, yeah, roll with that. And then other times it's literally nothing, and somebody just tells me, just make something that looks badass. Like, okay, and I just make a bunch of sketches, and then eventually we get to something that they like. But or you get like Grant, who literally tells me nothing, and I just make something, and he's like, great. That's it.
Oh, he got called out. Sorry, I have to check in. Dominic, are you still there? We lost your video, bud. He's
Oh,
off in the
no.
woods. I hope he's not getting like serial murdered or anything.
Oh man.
Oh, there he's gone. Oh, sweet. I've got. Hold on.
You get
Hold
nothing,
on.
Nate. Yeah,
we
that's
got
about right.
we got just you and me, Nate. What is
All right.
going on, man?
I didn't make this artwork, but man, isn't it cool? You can zoom in on it.
You zoom in on your shirt. Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Get a double up there. Sweet. Yeah, we'll just have you talking to the dragon on your shirt until we hear otherwise from Dominic.
Perfect. The dragon on the so this is Dragon Age artwork. I don't know if you can see it. I don't play Dragon Age or care about it, but I love how it's bleeding and the blood makes people. See that?
Whoa.
It's so good.
Whoa, yeah. No, I thought that was just like, oh man. Yeah.
No, it is. It is exceptional. I wish that I could tell you that I made that.
You could have. You could have just lied.
I could have, but no.
Oh.
So is this going to be a listening party with me and you now? Dominic's not here?
Yeah, exactly. Dominic's gone. So Nate, so why don't you tell us about the first track here? What was your inspiration for this track?
My inspiration was chiptunes and metal because that's what all of the tracks are, I think, right?
Right.
So I just listened to chiptunes. Like I just pulled some chips out of my computer, just put it on the desk and just like listened to it really carefully, set it on fire, and I was like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, awesome.
R.I.P. graphics cards.
Okay, cool. Well, I think. Oh, are we getting you back here, bud? I see a little. There we go. We have a sign of life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. We were totally
Okay.
just covering your butts there. Nate was telling me that your inspiration for this first track was chiptunes and metal because that's what they all are.
Yeah, so we're discussing the first track of the album, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're on to
Great.
that. Sorry, I forgot.
Great, excellent.
While you were having that nice little chat with Nate, I wanted to just get a nice close up for the audience here of the album art. But yeah, definitely. Let's dig in a little bit more into that first track. Did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so
Unrehearsed, guys.
Great.
We're doing this
So,
live. What's up?
It is live.
with all the risks. So basically the first track is an overture, so there's a bit of every musical theme that we're gonna hear out through the album. And so that's one part of the track, and the first part of the track, the very beginning, is the myth-making activity. So I wanted to really push the metal thing, which is usually create a world, create a mythology. And so I called it Chip Metal 101, and the idea is that we'll get the chips, and then we'll get the metal, and then we'll get the chip metal, and then we'll get, the highlights for every track of the album. And I think we're going to go in right afterwards with the first full song, which is track number 2, which is called In the Year 2000X. It's about Mega Man, blue guy that you probably know about.
Probably.
If not, I recommend it. There's a really, really, really freaking good video. I can say that because I didn't do it myself. My friend Jonathan Dagenet did it. He's probably in the chat right now, so shout out to Jonathan if you're there. It's really a really epic, amazing video. And the other videos are not going to be as good because I did them myself and I'm not really good. I'm certainly not as good as Nate, who also does awesome visualizations and animation work. And you should also hire him for that. But hopefully it'll give you a taste.
Awesome. Okay, and with that, I think we're also saying good night and see you in the chat to our friend Nate here and Little Kitty as well. Awesome. All right, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I think then we're just gonna get started with the first track, the first 2 tracks, I should say. Yeah, so without any further ado, here they are.
First came the word, a prime voice in the dark of the void.
All right. Yeah, guys. Yeah, I agree with the chat. There was a lot of really sweet video editing going on there. The music was awesome. So there's that. Super epic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What do you want to say about that piece there, Dominique? Those two pieces together.
Well, I think In the Year 2000X is the spotlight track. It's the one I put. It's available for a full preview before the album released right now. I think it's the short thing that condenses everything this is about, and it's like short, catchy, and everything. So the other tracks coming up will be more substantial for some of them. Some of them will still be catchy and short though. So it was really a blast to work with Jonathan in making the video because I shot it pretty poorly and he made magic out of the raw footage that I made.
Awesome. I'm just going to link everybody in the chat to the link on your YouTube for that full preview if you guys want to catch that again before Saturday. And while you're over there, you definitely should just go and hit that subscribe button, bring that bell, ding, 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 the same old pitch that you guys are probably all tired of, but you need to do it nonetheless to support young Dominique here. Yeah. All right. Cool. And should we just keep steamrolling this audience here, or are we gonna just move right along into the next track?
I think we can go on. The next track is a banger. It's high energy. It's quick. It's Contra.
Okay. I was gonna say not like the last couple. Those weren't like high energy at all. But anyways. Okay. Awesome. Sweet. Well, we're gonna keep moving on. What's the title on this one, Dominique?
Saving the World Bare-Chested.
All right.
Because this is Contra.
Yeah, we're some bad enough dudes. All right, here we go.
something I should definitely do because I mean making band
Okay,
videos
we're
was so
live.
excruciating.
Sorry, Dominique. Hey, sorry. We're having lots of fun chit chatting backstage, but then when the video's over, it drops, and here we are. We're all back. What's up? Oh man, yeah, lots of love in the chat. Holy cow! Everybody, I think somebody said that they were bare-chested, and I wonder if they look as heroic as those Contra boys do. I just picture somebody sitting in their chair, just yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't have to put on a shirt today. Bad dudes, Contra. Oh man, sorry, I'm making fun of somebody, and that's poor form. But nevertheless, high energy track. That was epic.
It's kind of in the spirit of Contra. I mean, it's so over the top, and like their machine guns are speaking for us and defending our homes, and like they're saving the world and coming back from the war, hanging on to the missile by the helicopter. Like the imagery of Contra is so over the top. So it was, you know, the intention is to do homage, but you know, in a fun way because this is a fun game.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like such a noob. I haven't actually played any Contra games myself. You know, my parents discouraged like violent video games and stuff like that. But you were saying that you had played a lot of Contra 3 growing up.
Yeah, Contra 3, the Alien Wars is really my jam. It's the one game I'm really good at, so I might stream it sometime, I don't know. The first Contra I didn't play that much. But Josh, if you've never played Contra, you really should. I mean, it's only you're only going to last 15 seconds anyway, so it's not too much of your time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Wow. I mean, okay, maybe I haven't played Contra. Just throw my entire run and gun skills under the bus. Yeah, no, challenge accepted. Maybe I'll pull that up somehow while we're while we're listening to the next track. Do you want to tell us about that one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Contra is so damn hard. I mean, what could possibly be even harder? Well, there are some answers, and one of them is Ninja Gaiden. The next one recounts the story of Ninja Gaiden, which is awesome if you can manage to get there while you play, which is quite the challenge. So lay back, enjoy the video, and enjoy the story if you know it. And if you don't know it, of course, discover it.
Awesome. Yeah, and the title of this one is?
The Ghost of My Father.
Okay, here we go. Okay, great. We're back. And Dominique has just gone to figure out if he can fix something. Oh, no, I don't want that on. Hold on. I just want this. I just want my sweet, sweet Contra 3. Me and my Contra 3. Okay, let's shoot some stuff up. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, this is awesome. What? What? Oh, I can get blown up by stuff and I can shoot people. Wow, we can shoot each other. Hey, Dominique, you weren't away for a little bit. We're back. How you doing, man?
Yeah. Well, trying to fix the connection issues, but I'm enjoying what I can see from the chat and the reactions. Thanks so much, everybody's so gracious. It's really awesome to see people react to what you've been doing alone in your basement for so long. It's pretty special.
Yeah, awesome. Well, and it's well-deserved, too, I think. Everything I've heard so far has been amazing. And look at that, Dominique, like 15 seconds, just like you said. Oh, man. Well, okay, we can put that away then. I just wanted to try a little Contra 3. Awesome, man. Okay, cool. What's up next, buddy?
Up next is all about speed and the dystopic future that is ours. This is a song about F-Zero. Now, F-Zero is just a racing game. No. There's a whole world out there. There's a whole world of capitalism on a cosmic scale where under the racetracks the poor slave away. So here's selling the punchline.
Awesome. Okay, what's the title?
It's called F-Zero Racing.
Perfect. Very original. Awesome. All right, well, here it is, folks.
Landscapes blur.
Whoops, sorry about that. That one was set to loop. Hey, we're back. You know, Dominique, I'm worried about you. I keep like you look like you're in a horror movie. You know, like we're just kind of watching you, and like there's gonna be somebody sneaking in through the window behind you and just coming up and getting you. I mean, you know, that's the kind of brutality that I would expect from what you've been giving us musically.
I'm not in a horror movie. I am the horror movie.
Oh crap! Okay, guys, I gotta go. Dominic, this is all you now. All right, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you later.
Honestly, there's nothing to be afraid of. This is perfectly fine, except the internet isn't quite as fast as we'd like to, but it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, just as long as like you don't like glitch out and then we lose you and then like we come back to you and it's just like your bloody corpse or something like that. That would be awful. That was awesome. I haven't played like the Super Nintendo F-Zero myself, but I played a lot of F-Zero X and like I love that high energy feel that game and the soundtrack gives. And you captured that really well too.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that, but you try to find the ways to materialize the experience that you had while playing these games, and I think most of the things that interest me in video games are the high energy moments and the drive to go forward. So F-Zero really symbolizes that perfectly well.
Awesome, and we've got quite a package to go forward with now as well. We've got a big song trilogy coming up here.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's time for the main course. So before we go to the main course, which is a trilogy of songs about Final Fantasy IV, that's the Japanese numbering. If you were there in the 1990s and you went through the American versions, it was titled Final Fantasy II. So it's a trilogy of songs. The first one is from the perspective of Cecil, the main character, and his quest to shun his past as a Dark Knight and go on, achieve redemption, and become a paladin. The second song is from the villain's, well, one of the villain's point of views, which his name is Golbez. He is the evil guy, and then you find out he has been manipulated all along by the real bad guy, which is Zemus, who is the titular character for the third song. So we're going to go through that main course now, but before we do that, I should mention that I think people asked about that in the chat. There are, the album is available for pre-order right now digitally, so you can get a digital version on Bandcamp. On Saturday the 10th, it's going to be released on every music store, iTunes, Deezer, Spotify, YouTube Music, and like a bunch of other stores. In all cases, you can also order physical copies. There are two formats. One of them is a CD, so it comes in an EnviroPack case. It's light, it doesn't take that much space, and it's a CD. And then you also get another version, which is a USB drive with the files of the songs in there in both formats, like portable MP3s and high quality WAV full versions. And the USB key is in the shape of a credit card that has the album artwork, the beautiful artwork by Nate on front, and the back cover on the other side. So you can also get these, but they'll be shipping later because I'm waiting for the production to really hit and make it into my hands so I can ship it and get it into yours. So physical copies will be a bit late, but you will get access to the digital files as soon as the album hits on the 10th, Saturday.
Awesome. And those digital files, I believe Bandcamp offers WAV files as well, right? Whatever format you're looking for.
Right. If you go on Bandcamp, you get them in streaming, you get them in downloads, and it's also the platform that gives me the most returns. And the merchant's cut is a lot less on Bandcamp. So if you want to support me, the best place really is Bandcamp.
Awesome. Yeah, folks, there's the link in the chat. Head on over there, get yourself a pre-order. And with that, we are going to... Well, gosh, if we're going to play 3 songs in a row, do you want to tell us the titles of each track?
First one is on Cecil, the main character. It's called Behind the Mask. Second one is on Golbez. It's called Beyond the Mask. And the third one on Zemus and Zeromus is called Hatred Eternal.
Awesome, guys. Well, here they are. Oh, dang, man. The end. I mean, like, I'm a huge Final Fantasy 2/4 fan myself. That was probably the game that got me onto RPGs in the first place. But man, yes, thank you for that epic trilogy tribute to that game. Holy cow.
Thank you. It's the one game that set me on the track where thinking about games and storylines and writing and stuff like that. Incidentally, I got that game when I was young because I wanted Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and I couldn't find it and there was no copies left. So instead I reluctantly got Final Fantasy 2. And it wasn't that bad of a deal in retrospect.
No, not at all. I remember, because, like, I never had any video game consoles or anything growing up myself, so I would always go play games at one of my friends' houses. And one of my friends had Final Fantasy 2, and, I mean, first of all, that was just, like, a huge flip from me as a young gamer being like, wait a minute, there's, like, a story here, and, like, there's dialogue, and like, yeah, like you said, it's very narrative and story-driven, beautiful game. And so, like, yeah, I never got a chance to play a whole lot of single-player games growing up because I didn't have the hardware. So what I ended up doing is I got ZSNES on, like, an old Windows 3.1 computer that totally did not have the memory to run that emulator in that game. But I still ended up going through and, like, I ground. I never know how to, like, what the the proper verb of that is, but I did get all the way up to level 99 and beat Zeromus. But I did it all, like, the frame rate, no joke, because this computer was such a heap. It was like 2 frames per second and no sound. So, like, can you imagine playing a Final Fantasy game with, like, no music? Like,
I cannot, but I empathize.
Thank you. I feel like I could use a little empathy there.
Oh, by the way, Josh, thank you for picking up on the Spoony Bard line, which I showcased in the video. One of the reasons I chose to put that line in is because it's an iconic moment, of course, so fans do recognize it. But I also personally, in my academic life, I wrote a book on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, whose title is Superpower, Spoony Bards, and Silverware. So it's a study of the Super Nintendo as a platform, but, like, Spoony Bard is really an iconic thing. So thanks for noticing that.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Like, if you've played Final Fantasy IV, you know what a Spoony Bard is. I don't know what other cultural references have used those two words together. Oh man, but it's beautiful. I think that was a translation error too, was it not? There was something about, like, the translation team actually put that in there.
Well, spoony is an archaic word. It's like it exists. It's just not used in any normal way or shape or form. It does mean to be foolishly enamored with something. So it technically it is valid.
Yeah,
of course.
Foolishly enamored with Tella's daughter, you know, to a fault.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're coming up to the last song here. We've only got one more before this album is all done. What do you got to tell us about that, Dominique?
So that last song is the ending of the album. It's an instrumental song, so there's no vocals. So that's good news if you don't like him. It's also a song about the arcade era. So it's about the classics of the arcade era. And so we're going to move from games to games in a very haphazard and disorganized way. Structurally, it is a fantasia. So the song is called The Age of Classics, parenthesis, Fantasia, which is how the song is structured. You'll see it goes in every different direction and evokes the sort of structures you find in classical music as well, because classical arcade games. So it's a Fantasia, and it's a cosmogonia in Arcadia. Cosmogonia is basically the origin of the cosmos, of the universe, and everything. So basically, we're just lacking number 42, and outside of that, we got everything. So this is the epic, melodic, rhythmic banger to end this album on a positive note.
Awesome. And what's the title of this banger, Dominique?
The Age of Classics.
The Age of Classics. All right. Here it is, folks. Enjoy. Oh, Dominique, man, you are such a better L'Oreal commercial than I am with your hair tossing. Oh my God, I wish I had your wonderful locks.
Well, it's years of not doing anything with them, basically. You just let it grow, and it works if you like. It's just genetics. You don't have any merit in like. I don't deserve any any of this. I'm just happy I have it.
Awesome. Yeah, well, it definitely helps with the windmills and making you look like you're rocking out. I would love to see you rocking out this album on stage, but you were talking about how you might not think about doing a live performance of this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're a hybrid between chips and chip music and metal music, one of the defining things about metal music is performance, the concert experience. It's been compared by sociologists to the religious experience and the manifestation of the beyond and things like that. So the concert is something that is a given in metal performance. Chiptunes do happen in concert, of course, but there's a lot of it that belongs more to the side of studio arts than to live performance arts, which of course many artists are doing live chip great and awesome out of it. But I feel like I wouldn't know exactly where to stand if I were to do it live. Outside of the fact that I don't have a band to do it with me. So I'm not sure what kind of role I would have to fulfill all at the same time. But I'm not sure even the logic of it would sort of make sense without drawing it too much to the metal side. Or so I have to think about it. I'm not sure, but
Definitely.
we'll see, I guess. I would have never thought about making videos for every single of my song and like writing the lyrics timed out and everything. But the idea of this pandemic, and now that this is sort of the primary output I can reasonably pursue for that kind of music that I'm making, I'm thinking it's not a bad way to go. And it might be the format that best works for that kind.
Yeah, definitely. And if you ever wanted to put something together for Virtual VGM Fest, we could have you on there as well.
I'd have to think about it. There's probably maybe okay.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's think
All
about
right.
it.
No pressure. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the
Absolutely cool. All right, well that's the album, folks. I'm just gonna drop the Bandcamp link in the chat here one more time, so you guys can go and make sure you get that pre-ordered and watch for the release on Saturday. Is that gonna be just at midnight there? Midnight on Saturday, basically.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I don't have set plans for that. I'm thinking I might go live on YouTube and or Facebook at like 11:30 or something like that in my place where I live, which is near Montreal. So that would be the time, and then I would sort of like just chat around and be excited to hit that button and publish, see it coming. So I don't know, guys. Watch out if you'd like to. Just watch out on my Facebook, on my YouTube, and I might announce something for Friday late evening, leading into Saturday midnight and 1 and midnight at 2 minutes.
Awesome. Okay, well you've got all the relevant links there in the chat. Do you have any final words before we say goodnight here, Dominic? Anything about the album or anything in general?
Well, I think I don't know if you guys mentioned it while I lost my signal at the very beginning of the stream, but the mixing and mastering has been done by Erik Peabody from Viking Guitar. You should definitely write him a message or something to get in contact if you need someone professional, someone tight, someone really good and really fun to work with, and really respectful. He did an awesome job taking my initial mix and putting it the next level, I feel. So there's that. I also have to thank the OICRM, yeah, is there. So it's the Observatory for Interdisciplinary Observatory for Research and Creation in Music. So they finance the part of the awesome mixing, mastering, artwork, video work with a grant, because this is a form of research creation. So it's a way to push forward knowledge and the advancement of science. And we also a good time. Well, I'm really touched and moved by the comments in the chat, so thank you so much to everyone that was there. And of course, thank you so much, Josh, for hosting this. I look forward to the next time if there's one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so do I. It's been a real pleasure, and you've been excellent to talk to, and amazing to listen to with your music. And thank you for pulling all of those visuals together, all, like at the last minute. What, you were up until like 3 a.m. last night trying to get this all together?
It was a bit later than that actually, and the night before was different, so it's kind of crazy. Now I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, that's a good plan. It must be late where you are, so yeah, get on with that. And yeah, thank you again, everybody in the chat. Please go and click on those links. Make sure you're following Dominique on Facebook so you can get the announce for that album drop. And yeah, other than that, all I have to say is thank you and good night.